All right, welcome back. Here is part 2 of lesson 7.2. Okay, here's the back side of the notes, which is on Classroom. Again, it's to be printed. You can copy my notes or follow along with me and then save this for your own notes. You will turn in assignment 7.2, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, here we go. We're going to do number 2 and we're going to do number 4. All right, notice this one is just the same exact style as on the front. All right, so it's already in standard form. It's set equal to 0. All right, so you're going to literally start with a times c, and that's 1 times 12, which is 12, right? So I'll help you out a little bit there, okay? And then you want whatever, factor pair that you choose to sum to -8, okay? All right, but jump over here. This one is not in standard form, okay? So what do you think we need to do to this one to make it look like this? Yes, exactly. We need to add this 7 to both sides. All right, so now we've got x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 0. Now we're talking, okay? All right, so now we're looking for a times c. A times c here is 7, positive 7. Factor pairs, right? This is a great one because we have one factor pair, 1 times 7, but we need it to add to 8, right? And it's positive. So the good thing is together, these two positive values will make that. All right, so this is easier to see the factoring piece. So 8x is now going to be these two pieces. So plus 1x plus 7x plus 7 equals 0. Again, the only thing I did here from here is break this 8 into 7 plus 1, right? And those two still combine to 8x, which is awesome. All right, so now we're going to factor the front binomial and factor the back. All right, the front one only has an x in common, right? Both of these share an x. That leaves x plus 1. And then the back one, now we know x plus 1, so that makes factoring easy. We want 7x to become x. We've got to take out or factor out the 7. So divide both of these by 7 and you get this x plus 1. All right, let's piece these together. So x plus 7 times x plus 1. Those are those factors, right? But remember, we said that factors that multiply together to get 0, one or both of them can be set equal to 0. So let's do that. So x plus 7 equals 0. Solve this one, so minus 7 minus 7. I'm going to come over here and write x equals -7. Okay, and then let's set this one equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0. Solve it, which is subtracting 1 on both sides. And that leaves us with x equals -1. So our solution, or the solving, right, because it says solve each equation by factoring, all right, is both x equals -1 and x equals -7. All right, so if we were looking at a graph of this, I'm going to sketch. This is not accurate in any way, shape, or form, but -1, 0 is right there approximately, and -7, 0 is right there. All right, because this is a positive, we know it's opening upward, right? I don't know what the vertex is, so it's somewhere down there, right? But what we've just done for this particular quadratic equation, we have found the two roots, right? Or the x-intercepts or the solutions, right? So we have now solved, okay? All right, let's jump down to number 4, and then I'll give you a little hint on these bottom two, and then I'll let you guys get to work. Okay, so this is clearly not in standard form, so I need to move both of those things to the other side. So I'm going to add 2x plus 2x over here, and then -6 and -6. Now, forgive the sloppiness, right? -2x plus 2x is 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. So we're left with 0 over here, which is what we were trying to accomplish. All right, now we've got 5x squared, which doesn't have any common factors, like terms. Then we have 11x's, but we brought over 2 more. So now we've got 13x. And then we don't have anything else that's a number. So we just have that minus 6. All right, here we are. Standard form, set equal to 0. We're going to apply the new property from the front side of our lesson. Okay, so let's factor first. A is 5 times c, which is negative 6. So a times c is negative 30. Let's create a factor table for this thing. So we want factors that multiply together to be negative 30, but add to positive 13. So let's do 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. All right, so which of these can be combined in one way or another to be positive 13? All right, well, really we have 2 of them. Okay, we've got 3 and 10, and we have 2 and 15. But the problem is 3 and 10, they have to both be positive to be plus 13. And if they're both positive, they can't make a negative 30 when multiplied together. So we have these 2. And because our 13 is positive, that means this is positive. This has to be negative. All right, let's break the 13x down. So 5x squared minus 2x plus 15x minus 6. And all of that equals 0. Again, 13x just looks different now, but this still equals 13x. All right, let's factor the front binomial and let's factor the back binomial. All right, this only has an x in common. That leaves us with 5x minus 2. Again, the great thing about factoring is you always know the back one is going to be the same. So 15 to 5, what do I have to divide by? I have to divide by a positive 3. All right, let's double check. So is negative 6 divided by 3 negative 2? It is. All right, so we've correctly factored out. All right, let's combine these 2. So let's move them together. So we've got x plus 3, and we've got 5x minus 2. And both of those equal 0. All right, again, our property says that if the product or the outcome when we multiply these 2 factors together equals 0, then one or both, excuse me, have to be 0. All right, so let's do this. X plus 3 equals 0, and then 5x minus 2 equals 0. All right, so let's start with the easy one, or easier. Minus 3 minus 3. Therefore, x equals negative 3. That's one solution. X-intercept, root. Lots of things to call it. And then this one, we're going to add 2 to both sides. So then we get 5x equals 2. To get rid of the 5, we have to divide. Divide, getting a little cramped. I'm going to come right over here. So the value of x equals 2/5. That is our second solution. All right, again, both of these things, if we plug them in to this equation, the left side of this equation, when it whatever boils down to a number, will be the same as this right side when it boils down to a number. And that is true for both of these. All right, so these are the solutions. All right, take a look down here. What you're doing here is analyzing these 2 students' mistakes, and then you're going to correct it below. All right, so first off, you can see that this is not in standard form, so you need to move that 7 over, okay? This one is in standard form, right, but then you have this 6 over here. So it would probably be best to move that 6 over at the beginning, or after you factor out, you're going to have to take that 6 away from both of these, right? So this is going to get a little confusing, okay? All right, so I would subtract 6 from both sides, and that's going to give you x squared plus 5x plus 0 equals 0. So that's going to be interesting. All right, so I'm going to let you play around with that. I'll give you a little hint. There's only and already one binomial. So see if you can factor this thing out. Okay, I'm going to leave you there with that cliffhanger. If you can say that about anything in Algebra 1, I think you can. This is exciting stuff. All right, have a great Thursday and or Friday. If you have questions, remember to, I'm going to go back over there. Remember to fill out this Unit 7 Q&A. All right, this is very, very helpful. Again, when you fill this Q&A out, all right, I'm going to pull this over. All right, I've got all of the questions here. All right, this is when the student fills out a question, and then I come over here and I fill in my answer. Okay, so please ask questions. All right, don't hesitate, but do it here rather than emailing me, because a lot of students can benefit from this, and only you can benefit from the email. So, all right, I think that's it. I hope lesson 7.2 is super easy for you all, as I'm sure it will be. And again, get your stuff done so that you don't have it hanging over your head. All right, can't wait to see you guys.